Good evening, you're watching Call the Red. It's been a little while, I've been on holiday, been out of the country for a little bit, so, I've not really been around to catch up on things. But just going to get straight into it. The big breaking news from the last couple of days, last 24 hours or so, is obviously this Cristiano Ronaldo interview that he's done with Piers Morgan. Um, Obviously, absolute bombshell news, and obviously, it's a top news story. The interview actually airs on UK TV on Wednesday and Thursday night. It's a two-part, 90-minute interview. He's done with Piers Morgan. So I think what we've seen so far, the quotes that have come out, the little clips, we've probably seen about 5-10 minutes of a 90-minute interview. So we've seen just the little snippets they want us to see. There's still plenty more to come. And certainly from sources of of seeing online, people who are generally well connected, they actually think that Ronaldo, if you watch the whole thing and listen to the whole thing, he's going to come out of this looking pretty good, and that doesn't surprise me in the least. This isn't something that Ronaldo's done spur of the moment. He's not stormed off the pitch, grabbed his mobile phone, and went, right, Piers Morgan. Rah, rah, rah. He's arranged an interview. It's a sit-down interview. He's arranged it. He's gone to the studio. He's thought it through ahead of time. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying. So let's make no mistake about that. This is pre-planned. Ronaldo knows what he's doing. Now, some of the things that have come out so far, I don't necessarily agree with. So when he's made these comments about about Eric Ten Hag, about Ralph Rangnick. I don't necessarily agree with some of those comments. Eric Ten Hag is a manager of Manchester United Football Club. As a Manchester United fan, I'm going to defend the manager. Now, there's been a bit of division in the fan base in the last day or so since this story's broke, where you're getting Manchester United Football Club and Ronaldo FC. We need to stop. It needs to stop. We cannot carry on in that vein. We are not two separate entities. You're a Manchester United fan or you're a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. If you're a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, fine. So you support the player no matter what club he's at, fine, fair enough. But you're not a Man United fan. Stay out of it. Respectfully, stay out of it. If you're a Manchester United fan, we need to stop this player FC nonsense. We've had it for long enough. We've had it with Paul Pogba, we've had it with Martial, had it with Rashford to a point, and obviously we're getting it with Ronaldo as well. We need to stop this player FC nonsense. It's not about the player, it's about the club. So Alex Ferguson, the most successful manager of all time, greatest manager of all time in my opinion, and I'm sure most of you wouldn't disagree with that. He would have made that clear that no player is bigger than the club, no matter what. Whether that was David Beckham, Jaap Stam, Gabriel Henze, Roy Keane. When the time was come for them to go, they went. There was no messing about. Now, first of all, I think this whole situation could have been avoided had the United board worked with Cristiano Ronaldo on a departure in the summer. There were clubs interested in him, but the club wanted a transfer fee. As well as Ronaldo wanting his wages of £400,000 a week, the club wanted a transfer fee of £10 to £15 million. That just wasn't going to happen. The clubs who were willing to pay the wages weren't willing to also pay the transfer fee. So the club are partly to blame for the situation. And, obviously, I certainly think it could be managed better in that respect. But there's a couple of key quotes from what's come out already. I actually want to get into some of those quotes because when you cut through what you said about the manager, what you said about Ralph Rangnick as well, when you get through that, you look into it and actually he speaks a lot of truth. He speaks a lot of truth. Then he's saying things that United fans, myself included, have been saying for months, if not longer, especially about the Glazers. So this is something that we need to really get into because this shouldn't be something that divides the fan base where you've got United fans and Ronaldo fans and you've got different. We should be getting united here as a fan base and energising the Glazer out movement, 100%. Because what Ronaldo's come out and said has confirmed what has been rumours. Rumours that have been going around for months and months and months. They're no longer rumours. The greatest player of all time, the GOAT, has actually come out and said it in public that this is the case. This is what it is. So, he's moaning about the canteen, he's moaning. Yeah, because how many other clubs from 2009 to 2021 haven't changed anything at their training grounds? Arsenal have, they've made improvements. Spurs have, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, all the clubs we're meant to be competing with are all making improvements. Now, no one's saying you have to knock the whole thing down and rebuild it, but you can make these gradual small improvements that take a day or two of work at a time. New equipment in the gym, bit of an upgrade in the swimming pool jacuzzi suite. better catering equipment. These things take a day or two at a time to do. These aren't massive wholesale changes. These are small improvements which should be made by any club with serious ambitions. We're not making them changes. We're not keeping with the times. And that tells you everything you need to know about the mindset and the ambition of our owners, the Glazer family. I've got a quote from Ronaldo here. This is a direct quote. So Ronaldo said, "The owners of the club, listen, they don't care about the club. As you know, Manchester United is a marketing club. They will get money from the marketing. The sport, they don't really care, in my opinion." Close quote. That's Cristiano Ronaldo's words, not mine. But I've been saying that for a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long now. It's so obvious as a United fan that is the case. That is the situation. The fact that Cristiano Ronaldo has come out publicly now and said this, it just shines a spotlight on the problems that are there that anyone who with half a brain cell already knows about. There's no shocking news. Anything I've seen so far, and obviously the full interview will come out Wednesday and Thursday, and I'll watch and obviously I'll react to that as it happens. But anyone who's the quotes have come out so far, there's nothing shocking in there. The most shocking thing is when he said there's no respect between him and Eric Ten Hag. That I believe there was at least a professional respect between the two. Obviously, seems I got that one wrong, but that's the only thing that's shocked me so far. And then obviously, he was asked about whether the supporters were right to protest against the Glazers. And Ronaldo, and again, this is a quote, this is his words, "The fans, they're always right. I think the fans should know the truth, should know that the players, we want the best for the club. I want the best of the club. This is why I came back to Manchester United. This is why I love the club. But you have some things inside the club which don't help Manchester reach the top level as City, Liverpool, and even now Arsenal, for example. Which is complicated, it's difficult, it's hard in my opinion. It will be hard for Manchester to be in the top of the game in the next 2-3 years." Now that's Cristiano Ronaldo publicly stating the fans are right to protest against the owners. Publicly stating the fans have every right to demanding a change in ownership, that the Glazers have to go. Because he's seen firsthand from the inside. We don't get that luxury. We're looking from the outside. It's obvious to us from the outside. He sees it firsthand from the inside, and he can see that there's no ambition, there's no investment in the infrastructure, the club's falling apart. Nothing's changed from 2009 to 2021. Yet we're meant to be a club with serious ambitions of winning Premier Leagues and Champions League trophies. Are you kidding me? There's Championship clubs, League One clubs that made more improvements to their infrastructure in that time frame than Manchester United have. That's an embarrassment. That's a joke. This cannot be allowed to carry on. So forget any anger about, he shouldn't say this and he shouldn't say that about the manager. I agree, some of it I wish he hadn't said. But the main message, the key message that I'm getting from this is that the Glazers must go. Cristiano Ronaldo is absolutely backing the fans 100%. He's confirmed everything we thought, and that for me is all that we need. We've got the GOAT, the absolute legend that's Cristiano Ronaldo, telling us the Glazers, they're milking the club, they're bleeding it dry, they don't care about the sporting side of things. We knew that, but now it's been confirmed. It's 100% official. So what more do we need? That's your answer. If you weren't sure about what's happening, that's your answer. Forget Ronaldo FC, Ten Hag FC, Martial FC. Forget all the nonsense. At the end of the day, if you're a Manchester United fan, you're a Manchester United fan. You back the club. You back the club. You might not agree with the owners. You might not agree with certain decisions made by the manager, but you back the club. You back the manager. And that's what we need to do right now. We need to get around. We need to support the squad who are going to be remaining. I imagine Ronaldo will be gone in January. But as fans, we need to back the manager. We need to back the rest of the squad. But more importantly, we also need to unite in showing that we don't want this ownership at our club. They cannot afford to run Manchester United Football Club. The training ground, the stadium itself, the squad, there's over £1 billion worth of investment required. They do not have the money to do that. They've never invested any of their own money into the club. The money that's being spent by Manchester United, the critics, the rival fans, and and people who are criticising the Glazer out movement. Oh, they spent over £1 billion. Yeah, they have. But it's not any of their own money. This is money that's being generated by Manchester United Football Club. It's our own money, not the Glazers' money. It's easy to spend money that's not your own. Very easy. But they're not putting their hands in their pockets, and I don't think they've got the money, because that's why they keep taking dividends and directors' fees and whatever else. That's why they want a European Super League. They don't have the money. They cannot afford to run our club sustainably and successfully. They just cannot afford it financially. They have to go. The time is now to ramp up the pressure, get the Glazers out, and get an owner who will actually invest in the infrastructure and make our club successful once more. That's where we need to be looking. So yes, I'm looking forward to this Cristiano Ronaldo interview. Yes, I'm going to be watching. Yes, I'll give my reaction to it. But at the same time, what's come out so far, just those little snippets, that 5-10 minutes of the 90-minute interview, is enough for me to say, you know what, we've been right all along. We need to ramp up that pressure. We need to be focused. We need to be united as a fan group, as a fan base. We need to be 100% together. We need to get the Glazers out. And Cristiano Ronaldo, he probably has played his last game for the club. Might get a 5-10 minute cameo to say goodbye at some point, maybe, if Ten Hag feels generous. If not, we've seen the last time in a United shirt. He's still a legend of the club. We can't take that away from him, regardless of what you think of what he said. But look beyond the 1 or 2 lines. Look beyond the probably the personal frustration he's felt, with his lack of game time and being dropped from the team. Look beyond those little, 30 seconds here and 2 minutes there. Look at the bulk of what he said. Look at what he said about the training ground, about the Glazers. Again, another quote. Yeah. People can have his own opinion. Obviously, his Portuguese, English isn't perfect. But they don't really know what's going on. For example, inside the training ground in Carrington area, or even my life, they should listen not only to one point of view, they have to listen to my point of view as well. Because it's easy to criticise, but if you don't know the whole story, it's easy. And I can't say any better than that. We don't know the whole story. We get the public, the media agenda, if you will. And I'm sure in the next couple of days, in the next maybe week or so, we'll see a lot of stories being leaked by dressing room sources, i.e. United PR team, just putting this spin. It's all the United do. Spin, make themselves look good. PR. We'll see all those stories come out, slagging Ronaldo off about now nobody likes him, he's a negative influence. All those stories will come out. They will, because it's PR. And it's what the Glazers, it's what United do, it's what they do. They've done it for years. Nothing's going to change. So it will happen. 100% it will happen. And, how much notice you want to take those stories is up to you. I know that these things are going to come out. I've said that now. I'm live on YouTube, 22:44 on the 14th of November 2022. I'm telling you right now, the next few days, these stories will come out. You've heard it here. It's important to take everything into context, but at the end of the day, the club are going to try and defend themselves, manage the PR and all that. Of course, they're going to try and do that. What's Ronaldo got to lose at this point by lying? Why is he going to lie and say the Glazers don't care? Why is he going to lie and say there's no improvement in the infrastructure? There's no changes, in sort of 15 years or whatever. Why would he lie about that? What's he got to gain? If he just doesn't want to play, if he's just had enough, he's just come out and said, I've had enough. And no one will blame him. He didn't have to say all these other things. He's chose to come out and say all these other things. He's decided he wants to sit down with Piers Morgan and have this interview and say all these things. There's a reason for that. And to me, the reason is that he feels the love of the fans. He understands the club, having been there as a young lad before. He knows what it means. And he feels that we, as fans, we deserve to know the truth. And some of that is going to be PR from his side to make himself look good. Well, of course it is. But at the same time, you can't detract from what he's saying. You've got to look at why he's saying these things if there's no truth to it. So for me, it's quite simple. Stop the division. Let's get together as United fans. Arsenal, Liverpool fans, let them hate, let them make their comments and whatever. Chelsea fans, whatever. Of course they're going to do that. Of course they're going to do that. It's what they do. They're rivals. We do the same as the other way around. At the end of the day, though, we need to be united. Manchester United, the clues in the name, and we need to make sure we're pushing on, we're energising this Glazer out movement, and not being distracted by the odd one or two quotes that we don't personally agree with. Anyway, that's my thoughts. As I say, we've only got these snippets at the moment. Um, Ultimately, I think we'll know more after Wednesday and Thursday when the parts 1 and 2 of the interview have been released. It's on the what's it called, Talk TV, on the Piers Morgan's show on there. I think we can watch it online and on UK TV, on Sky, etc., etc. So I'm sure everyone can find a way to watch it. I'm sure it'll be all over YouTube and whatever as well. But yeah, obviously make sure you watch the interview because it's going to be an absolute bombshell. There's going to be mic drops left, right, and centre, I'm sure. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I'm sure everyone's got thoughts on what's happened, what's come out so far. Please do let me know in the comments. I love to know what you guys are thinking. As always, I always reply to every comment left. And yeah, we'll catch up later in the week, see where we go from there.